Welcome to Nac Edition. I'm Cheyenne Gibbs.
And I'm Alex Davis.
On today's show, we visit with Janine Woods, CEO of the Brown Family Health Center, take a look at the historic Caddo Mounds, and much more.
Former First Lady Barbara Bush has died. She is admired for being the wife of one president and the incredibly loyal mother of another. Last week, the office of her husband, George H.W. Bush, issued a statement regarding her health and her decision to seek no further medical attention. From then on, she would only focus on comfort care. Mr. and Ms. Bush celebrated 73 wonderful years of marriage back in January. She passed away Tuesday, April 17th at her home in Houston at the age of 92.
Monograms on Main has opened up in downtown Nacogdoches. Courtney Knight has more on the story.
Yesterday in downtown Nac, in this historic building, Mandy Steffel opened her new store, Monograms on Main. This is a very unique store that specializes in monogramming, embroidering, and much more. This store does anything from shirts and socks to cups and umbrellas. And if you're not looking for something monogrammed, they have stylish clothes ready to go right off the rack as well. Mandy has been working long and hard to get this store up and running, but she says it's been well worth it now that it's finally open.
It's a unique part of town. It's a building that hasn't been open in 37 years or longer. And I have a lot of unique gifts and unique items for people to check out.
The Nacogdoches Board of Trustees was there to welcome everyone as well as host the ribbon-cutting ceremony. After the ribbon-cutting ceremony, there was an ice cream and cookie social, which everyone was very excited about.
I scream for ice cream. Ah! You scream for ice cream. Ah! We all scream for ice cream. Hey!
Monograms on Main had a very successful opening, and no one there could get enough of just how uniquely and fun the store was decorated. Mandy is hoping to keep this business around for many years and hopes that it will be something the community will thoroughly enjoy. For Nac Edition, I'm Courtney Knight.
Contribution, Talent, and Passion, the Center of Career and Professional Development, had a speaker come in on Wednesday for Senior Week. Zach Mercurio, author of The Invisible Leader, came in to talk about the meaning and power of purpose. Students and faculty were all engaged with the process of how purpose works. It helps as a driving force for those about to go into the workforce after graduation. Setting yourself apart from the bigger picture is what is needed, so no matter what, you won't feel discouraged or feel like there's nothing left to live for. Purpose is the key.
The historic Caddo Mounds in Alto, Texas is looking for your help. Nac Edition reporter Vanessa Wilburn lets us know more about the site.
The Caddo Mounds State Historic Site in Alto, Texas has an interactive museum and tours of the mounds built by the early Caddo people of East Texas.
So they're man-made, and there's 3 mounds out here at Caddo. One is a big conical burial mound that was a burial mound for the elite, so the political and the religious leaders in the community. Archaeologists believe there are about 90 people buried there. And then we have 2 ceremonial mounds. So across 21 from us, which is still our property, there's the High Temple Mound, which would have been the ceremonial center of this community. And then there's a low platform mound that was built about the last 100 years that Caddo were here. And these mounds were built up over time, over generations. They weren't just suddenly everybody went out with big baskets of dirt. So the Caddo people that were right here and built these mounds, this community disbanded in about 1250 AD. In Nacogdoches, the Washington Square Mounds, which is Mound Street, where Thomas J. Rusk Elementary is, there's a little burial mound left. That used to be there used to be mounds there as well, and that dates a little bit. It's considered middle Caddo, and we're considered early Caddo.
The Caddo Mounds also has events such as Caddo Culture Day and projects recreating Caddo folktale such as the Snake Woman's Garden.
It's meant to be a timeline of Caddo agriculture from the prehistoric times all the way to the modern Caddo cooking garden. And as you can tell, we want to incorporate this rattlesnake design into the garden and snake woman as well.
East Texas is full of rich culture and history. Have you ever thought about crossing off a bucket list item such as visiting a historical marker? Well, look no further than Alto, Texas, where you can come visit the Caddo Mounds, such as the one behind me. For Nac Edition, this is Vanessa Wilburn.
This past weekend, local swimmers learned the inside scoop on what can turn them from a good swimmer to a great swimmer. Here is Gary Walker with more on the story.
This past weekend, the Fitter and Faster program hosted the Dominate the Dolphin Kick at the Boys and Girls Club here in Nacogdoches. In a town where it is obvious that swimming is a pretty big deal, the parents were lined up to make sure their kids from the ages of 6 to 18 were registered and ready to swim, and to also get some merchandise if they please. The kids were ready to hop in the pool, even though I was ready to hop in the jacuzzi. But they were excited about the experience they were getting from the swimming coaches they had around them. Like head swim coach, for instance, was none other than Camille Adams, who was a part of the Olympic swim team in Rio and was a captain of the swim team as well. You could obviously tell that the kids respected what Camille Adams was teaching them. They started doing simple swimming exercises to get loose and to make sure that they were perfecting the simple techniques, like the streamline and the proper way to look when doing it. When the simple stuff was over with, it was time for what everyone came for, and that was the dolphin kick. The dolphin kick is what most swimmers say that turns someone from a good swimmer to a great swimmer. You see the kids working hard as they all try to perfect this skill, and you also see Miss Camille Adams right there in the pool encouraging all of them. Everyone who attended this event came to learn what can make them a better swimmer, and even though the event was mainly to learn about the dolphin kick, and it does help that the fastest swimmers in the world use the dolphin kick to break out ahead of their competition, each kid walked out of there with more than just one technique, and they were able to learn from a highly talented Olympic swimmer. With Nac Edition, I'm Gary Walker.
The annual Red Dirt Mud Run hosted by Nacogdoches Jaycees took place over the weekend. Although we had chilly temperatures and biting winds, there were still hundreds of people in attendance. The Mud Run is a 5K that boasts not only open pasture and wooded trails, but over 25 obstacles and tons of mud. Participants had the choice to either run solo or enter as a team, with the first, second, and third largest teams getting a donation from Jaycees to a local charity or nonprofit organization. Hopefully next year's participants will have warmer weather to come out and run in the mud. Coming up next, we sit down with Janine Woods, CEO of the Brown Family Health Center, to find out more about their upcoming community lecture series featuring special guests Matthew Knowles, founder of Music World Entertainment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Nac Edition. Today in studio we have Janine Woods, CEO of the Brown Family Health Center, which has been providing health care to the Nacogdoches community and surrounding area since 1990. We're very happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
So tell us about the work that you do with the Brown Family Health Center.
The Brown Family Health Center is an amazing organization, founded a number of years ago, as you indicated, in 1990. Initially, it was founded to meet the needs of the HIV-positive population in this area. And then later, as time went on, we expanded our scope of service to include all areas of service, all areas of medical need. So we see patients who have cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, all areas of care. We also have recently migrated towards integrative health. So now we have an integrative health component where we teach and talk about the importance of healthy lifestyle, exercise, eating right, things of that nature. So it's an amazing organization. We also have a number of community programs, of which the Brown Family Lecture Series is, of course, one.
Okay, so tell us about the Family Lecture Series.
So the Family Lecture Series is amazing. It's an initiative that we started as a way to help share information to the broader community. Our goal is to be able to bring in international speakers of prominence once a quarter perhaps. It's new. We're on our second speaker now, but Mr. Matthew Knowles, of course, is the father of Beyonce, and we're so honored that he agreed to come and serve as our first official speaker in the Brown Family Lecture Series. So it's going to be a series that we open up to the community, have very, very affordable tickets. For students, it's only $5. For senior citizens, it's $10. And for the general population, it's $20. So it's very, very reasonable. This particular lecture will be held at the Fredonia Hotel on April 26th, which is Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll have a photo op with Mr. Knowles, as well as a book signing, as well as the lecture itself, where there will be question and answer available.
Wow, what an opportunity, and what a way to kick off a series.
Yes,
So what exactly is the lecture series that he will be speaking about?
So that's a good question. He'll be speaking about how to make it in the music industry, how to get started, how he got started. He'll talk about entrepreneurial work that he's done, how to become an entrepreneur. You can ask him pretty much anything you want to ask him. I think he's a very receptive individual, and I think he'll be very happy to be in this community and meet the wonderful people that are here.
Mm-hmm. He's incredibly successful. How did you guys get a hold of him?
Well, so I used to work in the music industry many years ago.
Okay.
LaFace Records. So I just kind of worked some of my contacts, made some phone calls, and was fortunate enough to be able to connect with the right people to connect with him.
Wow.
Are there any other influential figures that you want to come in for the lecture series?
Uh-huh.
Can you name a few that you're interested in?
I can name the one that just agreed, our next one. She'll be the speaker for our lecture, not our lecture series, but she'll provide a keynote address for our prayer breakfast. And so her name is Susan Taylor. And Susan Taylor is best known for her amazing work with Essence Magazine. So she was the editor-in-chief of Essence Magazine for almost 20 years. She's a best-selling author. She's a mentor to Oprah Winfrey. She is the person to know in the world of journalism and the world of print journalism. And she's amazing. So Susan Taylor has agreed, and she'll be here June 2nd, Saturday, June 2nd, and that'll be for our 23rd annual prayer breakfast. So I'm super excited about Susan Taylor. And then there are two others whose names I won't mention because I'm still negotiating that.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be a surprise. It's something to look forward to. What do you think the positive impact on the community will be because of these lecture series?
I really hope that people come to the lecture series to learn about ways to improve their socioeconomic situation, to learn about what the rest of the world is doing outside of this market, and to share the wonderful ideas they have, because this is an interesting community. I'm new here. I've only been here just a little bit under 5 months, so I'm a new CEO. But there are wonderful people here, and I think that if people come to the lecture series, they can share what they know with our lecturers, and our lecturers can share what they know. So it's sort of a quid pro quo. And I think it'll be amazing because I think it'll let younger students, for example, know, the students at SFA know that, hey, you might be able to get an internship with this person if you come out, or you might be able to learn something to help you progress in your career path or whatever. So it'll be an amazing exchange of dialogue and a wonderful way to share information on both parts.
True, and also, I mean, people are going to get to meet people that they usually wouldn't get to. These are really incredible guests, honestly.
Thank you.
And so what's your ultimate goal as the new CEO of the Brown Family Health Center, and how is that going to tie in with the lecture series and just everything that you guys are doing? What's your goal?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, wow, I have quite a few goals for the organization. One is we just started 6 new programs. And if you go to our website, you'll be able to see the amazing work we're doing. We put a lot of work into the website. A lot of hours went into that. And that website is really an amazing display of all that the Brown Family Health Center has to offer. And we're so fortunate because Dr. Brown, for whom the center is named, still comes in 2 days a week. He's wonderful. He's an amazing intellectual person who has a wealth of knowledge, and so I'm just so happy to be able to be trained under him. So what I hope for the organization is that we grow, that we serve even more people than we serve right now, that we expand our scope of service, that we educate the community about the importance of eating healthy and about the benefits of food and how food can be used as medicine. I want people to stay healthy in our county and in our 12-county region that we serve, because we service a 12-county region, and that region has a population of 1.2 million people. So we have the potential to make an amazing impact all the way across the board. So I want everyone who hears this story right now, and I thank you lovely ladies for interviewing me, I want everyone to know that everyone is welcome to come through those doors, that we offer all areas of medical care. We also are fortunate to be able to expand our dental services so that if you don't have dental insurance and you need to get your teeth cleaned and things like that, you can come to the Brown Family Health Center. We now see all levels of patients, which is amazing. We're about to expand our dental program, so that's even going to be more amazing. And we're knocking out walls right now, and we're building new operatories in the actual clinic itself, dental operatories. We've just recently retained another dentist who's there now during the day. It used to be we only saw the HIV positive population for dental care. Now we are able to see everyone for dental care because of this expanded scope of service and how hard we all work to raise money and to write grants and to you know, speak to people of high net wealth about making donations to the community. So we're doing amazing work from an oral health point of view, but also from a medical point of view. And I think that's really important for people to know. We see everyone, and so it's no longer just that HIV clinic up the street and around the corner type of thing. We see everyone. We want everyone to know they're all welcome, that we can serve every population of people, and we hope that people walk through those doors because we can't stay here if you don't walk in.
Right, wow, what an incredible impact, and I think it'll last. I guess that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for coming in. It was really lovely to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
And, well, I guess stay tuned because next up we've got Logan Ward giving us the latest news in sports.
Welcome back to Nac Edition. I'm Logan Ward. The NBA playoffs have begun, and there are plenty of great matchups in the first round of the playoffs. Let's start out west, where the #1 seeded Houston Rockets are now up 1-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 1 was a close one with the Rockets winning 104-103, but Game 2 is tonight in Houston. The second-seeded Golden State Warriors limped into the playoffs, but any questions on playoff Warriors were answered after 2 blowout wins over the San Antonio Spurs. The New Orleans Pelicans were the only one of 2 road teams to win Game 1. The Pelicans went on to win Game 2 to take a 2-0 lead. The Oklahoma City Thunder played host to the Utah Jazz and won Game 1. Game 2 is tonight in Oklahoma City. Now on to the Eastern Conference, where LeBron James has been dominating the conference, going to 7 straight NBA Finals, but they were not the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. That belonged to the Toronto Raptors. Game 1s have not been so nice to the Raptors, as they are 0-9 going into this year's Game 1. Well, that drought ended and the Raptors took Game 1. Game 2 was much of the same. The Raptors have a 2-0 series lead. Celtics and Bucks were a great series. It is up. The Celtics are up 2-0. 76ers and the Miami Heat are now tied at 1 apiece as they split the opening games, and then now the Cleveland Cavaliers are down 1 game, and after they lost Game 1 98-80, and they look to even the series tonight in Cleveland. The NBA playoffs continue Thursday, as now the lower-seeded teams now get 2 home games during Games 3 and 4. Well, football has been in the air for the last couple of weeks in Nacogdoches and all over the college football landscape. Let's take a look at how the Lumberjacks spring practices are going. SFA football's spring practices are nearing an end. With only 2 more practices and 1 more scrimmage, the Jacks have seen improvement with both the defensive and offensive units throughout the spring. In the first scrimmage, it was the defense that impressed the coaching staff the most.
I feel good about some of the individuals and collectively how the D-line is coming along. You take out the first drive of the game, and then 3 or 4 series later where we gave up a long touchdown pass, I thought for the most part they played extremely well.
The Lumberjacks' second scrimmage was held this last Saturday at Homer Bryce Stadium, with the offense winning the day. The running game was effective and receivers improved on their route running ability, and Josh Covey, a University of Texas transfer, played well for the Jacks in the second scrimmage of the year. Here's what Coach Clint Conk had to say about the offense following the second scrimmage.
Starting offensively, determined to manufacture and commit to a vertical running game, and I thought that we did some good things as far as getting hats on people, and several of the running backs made some really nice reads and cuts, and able to get several explosive plays early. Particularly, Dominic had a 82-yard run on the coming out part.
SFA closes out spring practices with the annual spring game on Saturday, April 21st at 6 p.m. at Homer Bryce Stadium. And while we are on the topic of football, there were mixed feelings about the releasing of Lufkin native Dez Bryant from the Dallas Cowboys. Bryant was drafted by the Cowboys in 2009 and left the Cowboys as the franchise leader in touchdown catches. Bryant was released mostly due to the $16.5 million cap hit in 2018. Bryant was costing the Cowboys a lot for little production over the last couple of seasons. Last season, Bryant did not have one game with more than 100 receiving yards. The Cowboys are now looking for a receiver, and many say they might draft one in the first round of this year's NFL draft. There are a lot of prospects. Calvin Ridley from Alabama is definitely one of those people that the Cowboys will be looking at. And finally, there is a developing story in the NFL. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has yet to commit to playing in 2018. Brady, who will be 41 years old this season, did not report to the Patriots' voluntary workouts that started this week. Although he is not committed, many sources close to Brady say they believe they fully expect the quarterback to play in 2018. I don't have any doubt that Tom Brady will play, but there are some rifts going on in the Patriots organization. So stay tuned to that. Keep looking for that. Alex and Cheyenne, back to you.
SFA School of Theater's Alpha Psi Omega fraternity hosted its annual Spring in the Park event this past Sunday. The event was held at Pecan Acres Park and was put on to raise money for scholarships for theater students in the organization, and included many games and events for park patrons to enjoy, including a hula hooping competition, table flipping, face painting, and various games where attendees could win prizes. A highlight for students was an opportunity to pie professors in the face. There was also a compliment police to whom one could spend tickets to set the officers on a friend and have them taken to jail, where they are then inundated with compliments. That's all for this episode of Nac Edition. I'm Cheyenne Gibbs.
And I'm Alex Davis.